Okay, so now Bill is going to talk about the learner role and the teacher roles. The primary role of the learner is a member of a group who must work collaboratively on tasks with other members of the same group. So what is the learner going to do? They is going to be the director of their own learning, so that the students have to know how to learn the teamwork skills, since all of them are going to work in groups. Mostly pair works or pair tasks are assigned in this method. Another thing that the learners have to be aware is that they are going to be directors of their own learning. They have to be monitoring, planning, and evaluate their own learning. So in short words, the learner has to be aware that he's going to be the director, and he's going to play an active role during this task. It involves a lot of participation because all of the students are going to work together, playing different roles. Most of them are going to be tutors, checkers, recorders, and information sharers. All of them are going to have one specific role that is going to help them to develop this role in a very good way. So since most of them have different skills, one is going to be the director, and all of them is going to be the sharing information. That's going to be more kind and active and very interesting role. Okay, now with the teacher role, it's important to mention that CLE differs considerably with the traditional methods, which are teacher-friendly lessons. CLE is not focused on the teacher standing all day teaching something to the students. In this case, CLE is more focused on the teacher being a facilitator for the students, which means that the teacher is going to speak less than in teacher-friendly classes. And also the teacher, as a facilitator of the learning, is going to move around the class, helping students, and of course the groups, because this is basically groups. When all of them has different needs, have a questions or something, but it's important to really mention that the teacher is going to help them to resolve their own problems, which means that the teacher is going to interact with them, are going to clarify some doubts or questions that the students maybe it's going to have during the task work. But also they're going to they give a little bit of feedback, redirecting the students with questions, encourage also. This is the most important part, is encourage the group to solve their own problems. So that the teacher is going to be more active with all of the groups, and the students are going to play in their role. So basically that is what teacher and learner roles have different parts of this in the CLE, but also it's important to mention how students and teachers are very close related. They have to have a very good relationship so that students can feel comfortable while during asking questions to the teacher. An important role here, it's also the instructional material. It's very important that the teacher can create opportunities to students to can work cooperatively, which means that each member of the group or each group has to be a set of materials. Those can be different because of the work that the teacher is going to apply, but also each member of these groups need a copy of a text to read and refer to. Materials in CLE, they have to be a focus on what it is as a JSON or an information activities. There are also being modified for what the teacher wants to apply with the students. Now let's focus with the procedure that the teacher has to be present or how to develop why is applying CLE method. For example, the first procedure is that the teacher has to assign students in pairs. Mostly it's in pairs, but they can be group of members of 3, 4, 5. It depends on the methodology. With at least one good reader in each pair, which means that most of the students have different skills. So as all of them has to participate, has to play their own role, this has to be focused on. The second one is, for example, a student A describes what he or she is planning to write to student B, while who listens carefully, probes with a set of questions and outlines students' ideas. Student B gives the writing outline to students A. This is the fourth procedure. The third part is that this is going to be is in a reversed way, which means that the student B who is going to describe, he's going to write to student A. Student A has to listen and complete the outline, where is going to be what the teacher is going to give to them to student B. So student B gives the writing outline to student B, so that all of them are going to work in the same activity but in different times. As we can see in the procedure number 2, the first one to write was student B, and the student A is going to be the person that is going to listen. But in procedure number 3, they are going to switch the roles. Then we have the number 3. This procedure is reversed also the number 4. The students individually research the material they need for their compositions. They're going to keep an eye out for material useful for their partner. 5. The students are going to work together to write the first paragraph of each composition to make sure that all of them have a clear idea of what they are going to write. Number 6 is the students write their compositions individually. So this means that they're going to work together in the first steps, but when there is going to be an individual part. In number 7, we have the students how complete their compositions. They proofread each other compositions. They have to make 1 or 2 reads to make sure that all of the things, since capitalization, punctuation, spelling, language usage, and other aspects of the writing are very specific and good. So students can give some suggestions after the revision. Number 8, the students are going to revise their compositions. And number 9, finally, the students reread each other's composition and sign their names to indicate that their composition is error-free. This procedure was given by Johnson, which says that cooperative learning lessons will carry out when students are required to read an essay or report, whatever kind of type of writing, that or they have to read before. So this example, it could be perfect for a cooperative writing. As an conclusion, we can say that work group here, as we explained in cooperative learning language, it's one of the most methods that it can work with students that are kind of shy to work alone, but they are more actively when they are working with their partners and we are sharing information, no? So uh, group work activities, as we can see before, are carried out in a better way so that students can use the language, can be active where they are while they are being their own directors of their own learning. It's also important to mention that I consider that the big part of the CLE is that the teacher is mostly a facilitator than a person who is going to dictate what you have to do and just that, and you and the students have no participation. I hope you are enjoying this presentation about CLE, and this can be helpful for you to know how to apply it with the students and also to have an open mind about what a teacher can do in a classroom working in a different way. Thank you.